Hi, and welcome to my Blender tutorial on creating a very simple flower in Blender, and should hopefully only take a couple of minutes to make. So let's just get into it. Alright, so when opening Blender, it should come to something like this. You should be able to see this cube in the center, and what we want to do first is go to a bird's eye view. So press 7 on the numpad. We'll go to this view, and now we want to delete this cube, and we want to make sure it's selected, and we can tell if it's selected by it having a yellow outline. Just press X and then enter, and it'll delete. And so the first thing we want to create is a petal. So we'll just press Shift plus A. We'll bring up the Add Objects menu, and we will add a mesh into a UV sphere. So now we've got a round sphere. Go back to top view with 7 again, and we want to change this into a petal. So another thing we should do is change the perspective from perspective to orthographic by pressing 5 on the numpad. And now we'll press Tab to go into edit mode. We just want to select the middle vertex just in the center here. Now with that selected, we'll press G, and we can move the vertex around if we need to move it. And what we want to do is we want to also turn on proportional editing, just enable. And we'll press G again, and now we have this white circle, and that'll be our proportional size, and we want to bring that up to as close as you can to 2, and then we'll want to move it on the y-axis as well, so we'll press Y. So now it's only limited just to the y-axis, we cannot move it on the x-axis, and we'll type in -5. Alright, and so if we press 3 on the numpad now, we'll go to side view, and it's starting to look like a petal now. And with our vertices still selected, go back there, we'll press G again, and we'll change the proportional size to 5 this time, as close as you can to 5. So in my case it's 5.05, and we'll want to move it along the Z-axis this time. And we'll go ahead and type -1.5. Alright, with that done, we've got our first petal, and all we're going to be doing is just duplicating these petals anyway. So we'll go ahead and create the centerpiece of the flower. Actually, before we do that, we'll set the origin point. Just this yellow dot needs to be at this vertex. So if we go here, alright, so if we just press 1 and go into this view, also be out of edit mode, press Tab to go to edit mode, and just move this cursor along here. You want it just at the tip of where that vertex was. I believe the height was a bit different, yeah. Okay, so with just going between the different camera views, 7, 1, just trying to get the right angle, make sure it's the right depth where the cursor is at. And if you just get to where about I have it, and we'll just press Control, Alt, Shift, and C, bring up the Set Origin menu, and we'll set the origin to 3D cursor. And it should appear right there where that cursor is. So now if we want to rotate this by pressing R, it'll rotate along that axis. And that'll be useful later when we duplicate it and spread it across as petals. So now we want to create the center of it. Just deselect this by pressing A, and we'll do Shift plus A again, and add a UV sphere. Now if we go to 3, let's see, it's a bit too big. It looks way too round for a flower, so we want to flatten it down a bit. We'll just press Tab to go into edit mode again, and we'll have all the vertices selected by just tapping A, so deselect and then selecting all. And we want to scale it along the Z-axis. So once again, press S to scale, and then press Z to scale across the Z-axis, and we'll make that 0.5, so about 50% of the height. And just you can use these arrows just to move it along. And we want to make sure about as close as you can get to the center as well. So about here, the origin point. Alright, that's pretty much all the work done. All we just got to do is create more petals. So with the petal selected, with it highlighted, just press Shift D and it'll create a copy of it. And we want to just press R, rotate it, and we'll rotate it 45 degrees. So we'll just type 45 in the numpad after pressing R and then enter. And we'll do the same again. Shift D, R, 45. Shift D, R, 45. And we'll keep doing that until we've reached the other side. Alright. So now we've got our petals, and we've got our middle part, whatever the hell that's called. And all we got to do is just color it in if you want to. We'll just select all of these. Just hold Shift and right click on each of these petals and then press Control J and they'll be joined, they'll be grouped now. And we can go up here, just click on this circle pattern like thing to add a material, and we'll change the color to, well, whatever, pink. We'll make it pink. And we'll select the centerpiece. We'll change that color to yellow. Alright, so just press 0 on the numpad now. We'll look through the camera. We'll change this to rendered. And there we have a simple flower. Pretty simple steps. And hopefully you managed to make the same flower I was able to make. And I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thank you.